We said 5 weeks ago that if we were not received that, if 4 million of Canadians between 65 and 74 years old were not to receive what we asked, if producers under supply management regime were not to get what we asked, we were to start discussing with opposition parties in order to have this government fall.
What's up, gang? Just Aaron right here, Canadian Looney. So big announcement today from the Bloc Québécois. We're going to listen to Bloc Québécois leader Yves Francois Blanchet explain the position they're in. They're going to follow this government, it sounds like. First, we're going to listen to some Liberals that do not take it seriously. These ministers are so arrogant and out of touch. Maybe the Bloc's going to do this. Who knows? They might flip-flop. We're going to take a listen to the Bloc leader here in a moment, but let's listen to these loser Liberal ministers first. Got all the creeps, Duclos, Bossino, we got Nond is in here, and Verani. We've got a whole bunch. Let's take a peek and then listen if the Bloc Québécois is going to follow this government or not. Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics.
Oh, yeah.
Are you negotiating with the Bloc about OAS? Are you hearing any negotiations with the Bloc right now?
Look, we're in a minority situation, so we're going to talk with all parties about all things, but the Bloc deadline, there's nothing precipitous that I can see happening today. What's important, though, is that we go to this cabinet meeting, we have a conversation about how we're going to continue to deliver for Canadians, and that's really important. When it comes to making sure we have support in the House, that's the job of people running a minority government.
We need clarity around the country for what is deemed criminal and what is not deemed criminal. But what I would also say is that myself and Minister Holland remain firm in the idea that the conversation has not ended. We will continue to engage with Quebec about how to address what they are seeking in terms of a national conversation on this, because we've always proceeded.
We're hearing from the Bloc saying that they're going to topple your government at the earliest opportunity that they can. What is your reaction to that?
Well, I think it's unfortunate because they have fixed an artificial deadline after which they said they would not be working anymore for Quebecers and other Canadians more generally. But we will continue to work for Quebecers and other Canadians because that's what the mandate that they gave us is asking us to do. So we're not going to stop doing the work we need to do on dental, on housing, on farmer care, on daycare, just because there was an artificial deadline imposed by an opposition party. Having said that, we will need to keep working with opposition parties because we are in a minority government, so the work that we need to do for Canadians requires support from opposition parties.
Where does this stand in terms of the Bloc's deadline to move these pieces of legislation forward, and where are your conversations at?
Yeah, well, as I've said from day one, we continue with those conversations. Since the House has returned, I've been having productive conversations with all of the House leaders, and I'll continue to do that.
Well, from your conversation with the Bloc.
Yeah.
And then
Sorry?
What was the latest in terms of your conversation with the Bloc? Where have you left it?
Well, as I've always said, I don't discuss the contents of the conversations that I have. I don't negotiate in public, but I can tell you that those conversations continue.
Vote.
Just to clear the air.
I think we had a good conversation at caucus, and I think we're ready to move on. So.
You're already negotiating with the Bloc right now about OAS?
I think we're always trying to figure out ways to make this parliament work. You know, the Conservative Party under Mr. Poilievre essentially brought the parliament to a standstill. I think we are trying to figure out ways to actually make parliament work. So,
do you think should there be a secret ballot vote on your leader?
Do you believe their threats that they're going to pull the plug on your government? Or you think you're going to?
I can't speak on their behalf. You should add that question to the Bloc.
Minister Ferrada, do you support a secret ballot?
Let me just say how exciting it is to think about traveling between Toronto and Montreal in under 4 hours, in under 3 hours. These are the options that we are looking at right now, and I'll say that we're the only G7 country that does not have a system of this sort. And while I don't have any decision to announce today, the options in front of us are extremely exciting because we need to build a robust and efficient transportation system, and this particular option is extremely exciting, and so I look forward to chat.
Can you outline what your party's position is now that the deadline has not been met by the Liberals?
Our party position is exactly what we said 5 weeks ago. The government was invited to pass into laws two bills that came from the Bloc Québécois, but were approved and supported by all parties in the Parliament. They had until October 29th, which is today, to deliver that, which they did not do. And this is exactly what we are starting to do as of now.
Are you open to another conversation? If the government comes to you today, tomorrow, even the day after, are you open to a conversation to keep that going if you get what you want?
Have they come to us yesterday or the day before? No, we haven't got what we wanted. If before, of course, if before they fall, they give us all we have asked under the terms that we have described, we don't have a choice but to take it. But we are not negotiating anything as we speak. We are negotiating with opposition parties in order to have the government be.
So that will mean your support as well. If they give you what you ask for, even if it's after this date, does that mean they regain your support?
Let's say that if they give us exactly all we have asked for before they fall, because if there's a vote tomorrow, they might fall tomorrow, we will look into it and we will be coherent with all what we have said so far. We want precisely what is in Bill 3, C319 and in Bill C282. Bring that to us and we'll discuss. But in the meantime, they are seriously in danger to fall.
Are you committing, just to be clear, are you committing to voting against the government on every confidence vote moving forward?
It depends on the way it's written. You know, if it's against the values of Quebec in terms of language, in terms of secularity of the state, in terms of immigration, in terms of environment, we're not stupid. We will not go against what we are. This is why I say the most simple way to do it is a motion that says that the Chamber, the Parliament, removes its support, its confidence in this government, and that's the end to it. The tradition being what it is, the Prime Minister should walk to the house of the General Governor and say, okay, let's call an election.
Jean-Yves Duclos called it an artificial ultimatum today, this morning at Cabinet Inns. What's your answer to that?
He said a few days ago something absolutely fascinating. He said, you have to be in the government in order to do something. He's not going to do something anytime soon. So opposition have a role. We have something to do. We have probably changed a majority of bills which have been adopted in this Parliament, making those bills better for Quebecers. This is the way a Parliament works. So saying that being government is godlike, being in opposition is nothing, like both Mr. Duclos and Mr. Poilievre seem to say those days, is a lack of respect for the choice that people do. And if being in opposition is useless, I will say that the Conservatives have been useless for 9 years, and that the Liberals might become useless soon.
For an election, Jagmeet Singh has said he's ready for an election, but he doesn't want one. Are you ready for an election, and do you want to have one right now?
Both. I'm ready for an election. That was one of the reasons why we said 5 weeks ago that we were giving ourselves and the government 5 weeks. 5 weeks to go through the bills, which they didn't do. 5 weeks so that there would still be time to go into election before having an election which would be between Christmas and New Year's Eve. And 5 weeks in order to be absolutely ready to go into election tomorrow morning. Not only are we ready, but we might be expecting that with enthusiasm. I do not believe that Quebecers want elections so much, but I do believe that they will understand that this is where we are now.
So what do you think, gang? Is the Bloc going to do something for Canada, not just Quebec, saying they're doing it for Quebec? Maybe. They could follow the government. We'll wait and see. The Liberals really don't seem like they're backing down. It's so weird to see. My name's Aaron, Canadian Looney. Thank you for watching this video. Come and check out our live show. Like, subscribe, share, get notified, all those fun things. We'll catch you next one. Thank you for watching this one. Later. Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics.
Oh, yeah.